Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Let's have a look at problem 505 together again, the maze 2. In this video, we are going to share a method based on Dijkstra's algorithm, plus the min heap as the container. So this problem requires us to find the shortest distance of a ball starting from the start position and ending at the destination by obeying the rule specified in the main statement. The rule is the following. The ball can go through the empty spaces by rolling up, down, left or right, but it won't stop rolling until hitting a wall. When the ball stops, it could choose the next direction. So with that covered, let's look at one example, the example 1. So in this example, the output is 12, and there is such a shortest path. So we can travel left, down, right, down, and right. So let's also look at the constraints on this problem. So the number of rows and columns are m and n respectively. The numbers are bounded above by 100. So the last two items in the constraints are basically consistency assumptions. So both the ball and the destination exist in an empty space, and they will not be in the same position initially. And the maze contains at least two empty spaces. With that said, let's look at the method here we are going to present. So the method is based on Dijkstra's algorithm, which is a single source shortest path algorithm. So in order to remember this algorithm more conveniently, I personally use two ingredients. So first is the container. So here we are going to use the min heap, and another main ingredient is the relaxation. So thus we keep aware of these two ingredients. So actually the algorithm is there. So one remark is that if we are interested in locating shortest path, we could consider use list or dictionary to record the distance and the predecessor information. So this is the standard. Next, we want to explain what's relaxation. So in a graph, let's see, we use dv to denote the current shortest distance from the source to a generic node v. And duv is the range length connecting u and v directly. So the relaxation is the following. If u is reachable from the source and du plus duv is less than dv, then we're going to update dv by setting it to be du plus duv. In other words, so there is a shorter path from the source to v by way of the node u. Right, so that's the meaning of relaxation. So actually it's very intuitive. So the item 5 is some interesting background when Dijkstra explained how he invented or discovered this algorithm, now bears his name. So here are some suggestions. Maybe it's helpful to look at the videos on Leetcode 490 and another solution for the same problem 505. So in this video, our plan is the following. We're going to present Dijkstra's algorithm with the min heap as container. And another thing we want to demonstrate is a slightly different while loop format to examine this condition. It won't stop rolling until hitting a wall. So this part actually is delicate and interesting. So in this solution, we're going to check the positions with increment. And in our previous videos, actually we just checked the positions without increment. So we will explain the difference when we look at when we arrive there. So with that said, let's look at the code. So as there are two ingredients in the Dijkstra algorithm, one is the container and one is the main loop for relaxation, we're going to split the solution into two parts. The first part is initialize the container and the dictionary for recording distances. So first, let's initialize. Let's first track the information from the maze. So the number of rows, the number of columns. So this is actually very routine. And now let's initialize the heap. So this is the container we are going to use. The heap will store a tuple. The tuple consists of 3 ingredients. So one is the distance of the node from the source to this node, and the other is the 2 corresponding coordinates of the position. Let's with start 0 and start 1. So let me make some comment or annotation here. So what we are storing is distance, row, and column. So in other words, the distance and the coordinates. So next, we are going to initialize a dictionary, which is going to store the distance from the source to a specific node. So we're going to first use the start 0, start 1. In other words, the key will be the positions, and the value will be a distance. So what we are storing is actually the row, column, as the distance from the source to this specific position. Or maybe interpreted as the current shortest path from the source to this coordinate. So with that said, we finished the initialization of the container as a dictionary for recording distances. So next, we are going to do the main loop and relaxation. This is going to be a while loop, while heap. Then first we get the current minimal distance and the corresponding position. Dist, row, and column equals heap pop, right? Heap pop. So from this heap we initialized, and then the first thing is that we check if the current position equals to the destination. So here I have changed the destination to be letter D just for convenience. So if row and the column equals this destination, we're going to return the distance, and things are done. Otherwise, we're going to look at 4 different directions and do relaxation. So for dr, dc in the 4 directions, so 0, 1, 0, -1, 1, 0, and -1, 0. So for this, we're going to pick a direction and then travel along that direction as far as we can. So for this, let's first introduce some temporary variable, new r, new c, and new d. So it's going to be row, column, and the distance. Then that will be a while loop. So this is basically corresponding to this sentence. It won't stop rolling until hitting a wall. So this is the while loop. Well, we're going to check new r, new c with the increment. So basically it's 0 less or equal than new r plus dr less than m, and 0 less or equal than new c plus dc, then less than n. And if maze new r plus dr and new c plus dc is 0. So if this is the case, then we're going to move forward. So this corresponding to increment new r, new c, and new distance. So by dr, by dc, and by 1. So once we exit this while loop, so this new coordinates, new r plus dr and new c plus dc will be a boundary or wall, and then the coordinates dr and dc are the place where we can change direction. So here is a difference I want to point out. in our previous solution, actually what we check in the while loop is new R and new C without the increment in dr and dc. So in that case, we need to one step back after we exit this while loop. But here we do not need that. So that's an interesting point and a subtle detail to be aware of. So with that said, we are ready to do the relaxation. So for doing the relaxation, we are going to check if this current state, new R, new C, not visited. In other words, we haven't reached this position before, or it's visited, but so we can find a shorter distance. So new D less than visited. So new R, new C. Then we're going to update this visited new R, new C by this smaller distance. So this visit will be new D. And then we're going to enqueue or put this new position with distance to the heap. So this is heap queue, heap push. So we are going to push into this heap, and the thing we need to push is new D and new R, new C. So with that said, actually we finished the main loop and the relaxation. So then if nothing is already returned in the while loop, we are going to return -1, indicating that there's no such path. So with that said, I guess we are ready to make a special case check. Yeah, it passes a special case. Now let's look at the generic case. Yeah, it passes the generic case. I guess for this specific problem, this is a full solution now, so which consists two parts. One is container, one is main loop and relaxation. So one thing to mention is that it might be good to check other videos in the playlist for different graph problems. And another thing it might be interesting is to check other shortest path algorithms like Bellman-Ford and Floyd-Warshall. So these algorithms are also very well known and interesting to be aware of, and especially use them to solve some specific problems. So with that said, I guess that's the end of this video. Thank you very much.